حميم عين سين قاف كذلك يوحي إليك وإلى الذين من قبلك الله العزيز الحكيم.
Yes, hi everybody. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Brother Taalib Rahim. Yes, your friendly neighborhood Muslim here today. But smiles is good. Alhamdulillah, we're gonna, keep our hearts with goodness, what you call the tranquilness of Islam, so that we don't feel the sadness to the point where we're going to be feeling like down and saddened to the point where we're depressed. So basically, this is a segment of my money, faith, and out of my money, faith, and health segment is that pretty much, the things that are going on today in the media and the news and the likes of this, it's pretty much a little bit more than what we can bear for some of us. It's saddening and it's reality. On a faith level, which is what's the segment I'm doing today, pretty much, we're dealing with what we always be dealing with in this country, racism and the likes of the evil acts of racism. Pretty much we're at a point where people are, they really don't have anything else but to do, but to just, go out there and do what they feel is right, protest or get angry or, voice themselves on the social media and make quotes and everything. And some of this stuff, not sounding insensitive, becomes redundant when there is no action behind it. There's no resolution behind it. So basically, like in the likes of in these times, for the Muslims, which is really very, very more of a clarity for us, that we must have solutions. We must try to make a solution to this, besides just making dua as well, which is the first and foremost thing. We need to pray to our Lord and ask Him to take away these harms and these things that are coming at us from all different angles, on the lines of racism in this country. That just recently happened. Another man got shot by the cops, and it looks like it seemed to be racially profiling, but at the same time there's two wrongs on both sides. One wrong on one side, that the person that was involved in the shooting that got shot, the victim, may have avoided it if they made the decision to be patient. And then in Islam we learn this. We learn as Muslims to be patient. We have to control our emotions. We have to think. We have to use every aspect of what we created with, and I say that to myself first, because I'm a human being as anybody else, and I don't know how I would react, but I know one thing, that I've been there already. I've had guns pulled up at my face, in New York. I'm from New York, from the Bronx, one of the most roughest, cities in the country. So and being that borough or that area of the country is well known for its reputation of being, stricken with criminal acts, and then also the high level brutality of policing there. So I got caught there. I got caught in Manhattan one time, and they were thinking I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing. I was with other people, and they pulled guns right out in my face, and also my friends. So, I know how it is. But basically, what I'm trying to get at, and there's going to be maybe another 2 videos to follow, so I won't go over time, is that we have to find solutions. We have to find a way to get out of this. And ultimately, for the Muslim, without any doubt, we have to make hijrah. It's already been known, just because, not even because of the dangers, but the dangers of us with our religion as well, because we've had Muslims harmed due to their religion, besides them being just African American or black people or people of color, as they say, and but we have to we got to get it together. We have to do something better than what we're doing. And for the Muslims have to make hijrah, because it's incumbent upon us. And it's unfortunate that we might forget. And it seems like many of us forget or have forgotten about making hijrah. Maybe we haven't forgotten and we just think that it's not incumbent upon us. I don't know what is in the people's chest. Allah knows. But what the actions are showing is that from just people that I know myself, that we have to push a little better. We have to push a little better. We might have an economical situation at hand that we're dealing with, and we're not ready financially. But even at that point, there's like how far it's gonna go, how long you're gonna wait, how much do you need to make hijrah? How much time do you need? What are the things that you're doing that are taking you and making it longer for you to set up a process of a plan to make that move to leave this country and to make hijrah to a Muslim country, preferably. Of course, we don't make hijrah to a non-Muslim country, so that's clear. But making to a Muslim country at meaning what we prefer out of the Muslim lands. I'm not saying for me, myself, due to a lot of the understanding and the knowledge that I've learned dealing with the African diaspora and African diaspora movements that have been going on, and I sway away, because I'm Muslim, of course. I try to sway away from the African Pan-Africanism or African nationalism or black nationalism types of movements that are going into pushing the people to make reparation to Africa, which is one of my main goals, as to make hijrah, but to a Muslim country, not to just any African country, of course, because I want to be able to know that I'm going to be practicing my faith, and then I won't be raised up or brutality won't come upon me because I'm practicing my faith now. I may be African and black in skin color, but my faith is not their faith, and they don't really have too much inclined feelings towards me due to that. So I don't want that neither. So I'm gonna go where I'm wanted, I'm liked, and this is where I should be, and my family, and to be safe as best as we can, because in this world, safety isn't going to be forever, and it isn't forever. And you can go anywhere and you have, harm come to you, but you want to be in the best place. You don't want to be in a place that's so toxic and so, where it's removing your safety and your good feelings of standard of having a feel to live freely, and not have a fear of that you're going to be pulled over by people who's supposed to protect your rights. They were supposed to protect you and serve you in that sense, and also keep you from doing harm to yourself and controlling you, not killing you. You understand? Or beating you down to a pulp where you don't even, your family can't even notice you. These types of things choke you. And all of it's been going on, but it's a reality that's the same and hasn't changed. It's been for years and years and years. And we've had people who marched against it, protest against it, who stood up against it, and it hasn't changed. So the best thing, as for those of you who are even not Muslim, like I said, this goes more towards the Muslim, that it's incumbent upon us in our faith, in our belief, to leave. But for you non-Muslim African descendants people, it's incumbent upon you for your life, to save your life. It's incumbent upon you to protect your family. It's incumbent upon you to get yourself out of inequality, economic inequality, inequality, where you don't have quality, you don't have no equal opportunities economically here neither. There's so much against us, So, I have some things that I just wanted to go over, like for, pretty much, because of course I gear a lot of my talks to the Muslim community at large. And I have, I try to go in on information that comes from the likes of people that have knowledge or gone before me or know better than I do myself, And so I usually do that, and I go into books, or I go into, and for those of you who don't know me like that with my videos and haven't watched, I try to take from people who have knowledge better than myself. And one that I know about making hijrah and going to the lands of the Muslims, or Africa, as far as in a more specific sense of it, is a elder brother. Better to say elder brother. We know him as Sheikh. We say Sheikh, which means also, besides a knowledgeable, scholarly person, it can be also, a male. It'll be elder, a Muslim elder. So, but he falls in both in my position, as far as with his education and the knowledge about making hijrah, and the knowledge about opportunities for business and this and like this. So he's a scholar in that. He also has a degree and his PhD, from what I remember. If I'm correct, he can correct me, himself. But I'm not going to mention his name because I didn't speak to him about me, putting him out there like that. But I will mention what he mentioned, which is in social media, and it's in public, and I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem with it. And it was from what he wrote in Facebook. And as it reads, Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I believe and I've experienced one of the most sought after aspects of making hijrah to the lands where the society is majority Muslim is to find a sense of connection and belonging. Many times this sought after goal is never felt or realized. All of the blame, in my opinion, cannot be heaped on the Muslim country society /society. The inability of many Muslims from the West to roll like a Qibla or Qabila, function like a tribe in the Muslim nation prevents many practical and tangible aspects of realizing connection and belonging. So basically, he's saying that, even though there's endeavors of the Muslims to make hijrah, and they don't have a communal type of sense, or like he said, tribe. He used tribe, to be together and to work together and collaborate with each other in those areas, so that they can have a structured contribution there that will be noticed, that will be accepted and will be respected, and they can also still function as a group and a community, and help the outside community, because that's how they are. But that's the same type of situation here, even in America, with African Americans especially, and even other black people, but mainly African Americans, is that we're so divided and we're so disunified that, even within our families, unfortunately, people like, well, you got to get a job, you got to do for you, you got to, I got mine, you get yours, and and I'm not even talking about financially, like somebody's losing their house. Not many people are willing to let their family move in and help them out. This is families. Jealousy with families, all these types of things that keep us away from each other. We move far distance from each other. Everybody's scattered. The only time we might even come together is during reunions, and that don't even always happen. Or everybody doesn't come that might be invited. Even myself, I wasn't able to make reunions because I'm always working. So, and that's another part of what you go through in this country, is like, and it's not even a black African American, downtroddenness of us being oppressed. The oppression is all the way across the board. there's so many hardworking, working class people that don't get to live their lives and have enjoyment of their lives because they have to work. They have to work long hours. They got to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs just to make ends meet, because that's due to the elitists that have made it this way. They made the gap between impoverishment even further now. And that's a whole nother story that deals with money, and I'll get into that segment a little bit when I deal with that. But basically, to finish up, and he says connection, the inability of many Muslims from the West to roll like a tribe, or in other words, rolling like a Kabbalah, must begin before making Hijrah. So you should begin this. We should begin to come together before we make Hijrah. It must be manifested on many levels of family solidarity, economic maturity, and cooperation, and it must be firmly rooted in healthy collective self-identity. So you should be able to identify with what you're doing and firmly be rooted in a healthy collective self-identity. Not something that's like the same stuff we come from, that street, ruthless, get over, fast, trying to be fast, trying to be, lewd in our way too, because we trying to chase each other down, sexual, lustful ways, and trying to look the way that we want to look, so we can attract each other in this manner, then basically basing ourselves on a more higher level when we connect with each other, especially with marriage and marital, lifestyles, not this lewd lifestyles that we want to do and have, who we want to have and do whatever kind of stuff we want to do with them. I'm not going to even get into that, but basically healthy collective self-identity. We have to check ourselves. We got to change our identities. The way that we've been brought up and raised in this country, we really need to check ourselves. We have a lot of issues, and in the heart is diseased. And I'm myself, to speak for myself, every day is a battle. Every day is a battle. And I go to Walmart and I go out my house. So, anyway, so basically the Sheikh is right on point. And I believe this is true, and, I appreciate the Sheikh, Barakallahu Fikum, Sheikh, that you brought that out, and everything else that you mentioned, and then also those brothers and sisters that mentioned in the group that agreed and was even going back and forth. And we really do need to do something. And it was mentioned in the messaging back and forth in that while he spoke in the comment area. About people trying to get together and do something, and that's what we got to do. We have to get something going, and we have to start something. So I'm with it. I'm definitely with it. I'm for it, and I pray that plenty of us Muslims here come together on that and really look into it. Trying to establish like a Hijrah group or a Hijrah organization. I mean, for real, not some of the stuff. Oh, well, some of the stuff that was done, it was tried, and is the best that whoever tried to do it, but it hasn't stood on a stable ground as basically that it had some benefit to continue on, and without it all of a sudden it just disappears and solidifies. I mean, not solidifies, but vaporizes, and you don't even see it anymore. You don't see the movement. You don't see the progression or the progress that is being made on, such of a group like a Hijrah group. Trying to get things done, get economical base, get geographical research done that can bring to the people that don't know about these countries and so the infrastructure there and the things that go on in the processes and that they got to go through to get in and to be able to even get accepted for Hijrah, because of according to ulama, major scholars, and many of them spoke. You can Sheikh Abdulaziz bin Baz, Sheikh Sheikh Al-Uthaymeen, Sheikh Al-Albani, some of the major scholars, sheikhs from Africa, sheikhs from Asia. They speak on Hijrah, and they tell you that if you make Hijrah, basically they all agree on, if you're making Hijrah, you have to be accepted by the people that want you to make Hijrah. And in my endeavors back maybe a few years back, before I even made Hijrah, tried to make Hijrah to Egypt, which I did, and I lived there for 8 years or so, but it wasn't considered a Hijrah because I didn't get citizenship. And that's part of the processes in these countries now, in these times. You have to have citizenship. This is what constitutes you having an actual Hijrah. So like for in Africa, you can get citizenship. You can get citizenship there. I don't know how it can be in Asia, but like Indonesia, you got brothers going there. Turkey, that brothers are speaking about Turkey and stuff like this. But are you going to be able to establish your Hijrah to be what according to the ulama claim? But there's other things that can be brought into note about the fiqh on Hijrah. So I can speak on that, bring some basic knowledge from the ulama on that. But basically, I'm going to end this part of the video and go into some other areas of this video, of this subject matter, and try to get to you and everybody some clarity about what we're supposed to do, and that in line with the solutions to these issues is that for us as Muslims, and not all of us are able to do it, but we have to find solutions that are going to be accordingly. We cannot continue to just complain and post stuff and then not do anything. It just doesn't make any sense. So, but anyway, I thank you for watching and viewing, and don't forget, inshallah, thumb it up, subscribe, and any questions, comment in the comment area, and I'll get back to you as much as I can. I appreciate it. Thank you. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.